So a few weeks ago, we had the opportunity to have people be confirmed, and so today we are going to hear the confirmation testimony of Stephen Cho. So if you could welcome Stephen to the front.
Good morning, Harvest. My name is Stephen Cho. I'm in 10th grade, currently attending Timber Creek High School. I'm just a normal 16-year-old. There's not much that makes me different from any other person my age, except that I have found life because of Jesus Christ. All of the good changes in me have been because of him, and though my life is still a struggle, I know that he has changed me, and he is still changing me. Before I met Christ, my life was stressful, and there was this missing piece that I struggled to find. I go to church weekly, but I always used to put God in the back of my head and lived on with life. I was stressed with school, stressed with how people saw me, stressed about things that teenagers stress over. I had a hard time dealing with everyone's preconceived notions about me, and I was concerned about what people thought about me. Ever since I entered 10th grade, my grades started getting worse, and I had no motivation to do anything in my life. I met with doctors who wanted me to meet therapists. Because of all that, I didn't want to go to church, and I didn't feel the need to go to church or participate in church activities. Whenever I felt happy, I'd force myself to be sad again. It's a feeling that I can't explain in words, but it kept holding me back, and I didn't want to try anymore. I kept praying, but I never felt any emotions, and I would never get answers. All I wanted to do was to do my own thing, which meant making wrong choices and turning to wrong paths. Things just kept going downhill, but in the midst of all this, God helped me remember something very important that happened to me years ago. Many years ago, when I was still living in Korea, my family went on a trip to America, and on the way there, something happened that I will never forget. The plane took off, and I was sitting in the window seat of the plane. I had grown up in church, but never really felt like God was real or that he was near to me. So I randomly prayed to God and asked, God, if you're really there, please show me something. I looked out the window and saw the sky and the clouds from the plane. I had to take out my phone, and I took a picture outside the window because I thought it was such a beautiful view. But when I looked at the picture, I saw a strange shadow on the cloud. I noticed it was the plane that I was in, and around it I saw a rainbow surrounding the plane. The rainbow in the Bible symbolizes God's faithfulness to his people. Whenever we see it, we're supposed to be reminded that God will never leave his people. When I recalled this instance, I knew what I had to pray for, and I didn't want to be sad anymore. I wanted to know him and trust him again. I was happy knowing that God is always with me and that he is always listening to my prayers. And I know that I am going to heaven because of Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ only. He died for my sins, and I trust in him because it is only because of grace that we are saved. To be honest, my life is still a struggle to do what is right, but my life has definitely changed because of Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be able to deal with the hardest things in life. I wouldn't be able to deal with stress or with anything else. The confirmation class has helped me push myself to rest in his love and grace, and to my best to live how Jesus would want me to live. I'd be nothing without him. I'm nowhere near perfect, and I never will be, but God is changing my life slowly, and I'm excited to see what God has planned for me in the future. I know that true joy comes in following his path for me because his commands are not meant to harm us, but to keep us on the best path, the way that we were meant to live. Please keep praying for me as I seek to live for Jesus and for his glory.